Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to new Lunch and Learn. And we are rejoined by Akumendo, by Jean-Pierre and Guy. How are you, gentlemen?
Hi, everyone.
Good to see you.
Hi, everyone. We're waiting for
I guess we're all good and healthy. Where are you at the moment, Jean-Pierre?
Here we go. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Where are you, Guy, at the moment?
Hello, John. Hello, Arnold.
I'm in the south of France, not far from Jean-Pierre. We are 50 kilometers away of each other in the south of France, close to Marseille.
Good. So, and I'm in sunny Palma, and obviously we would like to hear in the chat where everybody is, and it will be interesting to know where we're focusing on today. Today we're going to have an amazing, interesting session again, as always. Is like what we're doing today is very much focused on the guest and crew information workflow efficiency, and that's a specialism of Akumendo, obviously. And they're going to help you to see how you can create an information system that suits your needs.
Don't know if we are waiting for Hono or you can hear me, Guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you hear me, Guy?
Yes, no problem.
Okay, so I think Jean-Pierre's got some issues hearing me, and that we improve information access and display for crew and guests, and some tips and tricks. So I think I think it's going to be a very interesting session again today. Meet Guy, our user experience designer, and meet Jean-Pierre, who is the consultant for Akumendo. And good picture, by the way, Jean-Pierre.
It was made at Acru event in Monaco.
It was. Well, that's like...
It was your photographer.
Well, fantastic. Perfect. He did really, really well then. So let's start. Let's get this going.
I can't hear you, so I'm going to cut the communication and come back quickly. Sorry.
Perfect. See you in a little bit, Jean-Pierre. Guy, I think it's all yours. You know what you're doing. You've done one with us before. I think you're very capable of making this a very interesting session. Everybody in the chat, feel free to put any questions in there. Communicate with us. Ask anything you want. And Guy, please take it from here.
Yeah. Okay, let's start. I've got a presentation for you. So welcome, everybody. And bon appetit if you are having your lunch in the meantime. Two persons today, myself, as I'm a designer and also user experience expert. And for this, I really care about a great information flow, and you will understand why. And with me, you've got also Jean-Pierre Casanova. He's the CEO and the founder of Akumendo, and is also an AVIT expert. We founded and we created the Akumendo system, which is a unified user interface system to control your IV entertainment system, to get information for your guests, for your crew. But we will show you a little bit of that later. Just before kickstarting this presentation, we received through Acru, a question for this webinar. Someone asked, what do you say to an owner who says that they are concerned that every system is a prototype? Well, I will answer very quickly from my designer perspective, and then Jean-Pierre will also add a little bit of information on top of that. It's an interesting question because in our job, every day we hear this question from captains, from engineers, from yacht manager. What can I say to my boss, to the owner? Because they always say, your system, your information system, your AV system, or your telecommunication system looks like a prototype. I mean, okay, from the design perspective, they are prototypes every time because they are unique. Every yacht has a unmatched set of needs and is unlike any others. Each yacht is different. So each time, AV, IT designers, information system, telecommunication system, audiovisual system are built as a unique system. Okay, you cannot reproduce exactly the same system on a range of 10, 20, or 100 yachts. That's from the design perspective. Now, from the business perspective and the service to the client perspective, Jean-Pierre?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, let's say as a consultant, I think there is two big setup. One is the equipment and the company who install the equipment, the integrator, and the other is the, let's call it the human. We have very sophisticated system, and people are trying to make maybe too complex system. So let's keep it simple with some equipment that are reliable first and easy to find, and don't try to push it to somewhere that they can go, in fact. And the other is the human. So I would say for owner perspective, maybe they need a consultancy, maybe they need the owner advice, because of course is the one using the system. And then you need a good installer and the training of your crew, which is very, very important. And let's call it also training of the user through maybe a very good user interface. Then maybe it comes that it's not anymore a prototype, but keep it simple.
Yeah, as the bottom line, in fact, the answer to the owner is yes, it is a prototype because it is unique, but as a crew and in the relationship with our supplier, with the integrator or the service provider, we are going to train the crew in an extent way, and they will be able to answer any issues very, very quickly. But they have to be conscious that they have a unique yacht, they have a unique system on board. All right? Okay, let's jump in now. What is the core agenda of this webinar? First of all, we are going to give you a reminder about why and how information must flow. And when I talk about information, I talk about workflow information between you, crew members, and between everybody else, including guests and the owner. We are going to approach the solution we give you as a system that we can call, or that we can image as a dyad. I will explain you what a dyad is. Don't worry. I will explain what is a dyad, by the way. Then we will give you, again, for some of you, if you already attended our previous seminar with Akumendo and Akru, but I will again give you some caveats about cybersecurity and other tips and tricks. I think it's important. Also, we will showcase two particular tools we have chosen for you to build your own info system. More on that later, of course. And we will explain you the benefits and why you should also integrate dynamic signage system in your workflow and your guest information system to complete the picture of a good information system. And if we have time, we will try to do so, some question and answer. All right? So, first of all, what is information? Well, information as a definition could be understood as the resolution of uncertainty. Information can be thought of as the resolution of uncertainty. It's not a material value, it's an immaterial value, but it's something so important because it reduces the doubt, it reduces your uncertainty. Okay, this is what information is. So, why quality information is so important? First of all, if you have some good practice in terms of information, quality information, a good information system, and good information practice, you will see great increase of productivity and efficiency in your work. And not only in your work, but also in your personal welfare, personal being. Information increases productivity. It increases also awareness and security. Awareness is something very important. I mean, if you've got good information, you have a great picture, but you can also deal into the details of a situation, of a job, of a mission, of a context. And if you have a great awareness, you know things that are happening in front of you, but beyond. Then you increase also security. Security at all levels, safety, cyber security. But also information decreases something, reduces something. There's a great reduction of errors and stress. Great information, good information in your workflow will avoid, of course, errors, misunderstanding, missteps. And then it's correlated. It will reduce your stress. And then it's specific to the situation on board yachts. It will reduce many onboarding frictions. What is onboarding frictions? I mean, in your environment, your day-to-day job, you have a lot of situations where you have some onboarding. For example, a supplier bringing service or goods on board or equipment on board. New guests, the owner coming back on board. New crew members coming back from vacation. You have many situations where you've got some onboarding, you know? And at this time, if you've got a low level of information, you have a high level of uncertainty, and you do not know how to cope with or to deal with problems at this onboarding time. Someone who come back on board after a few times may have lost track of some tasks or lost track of some requirements in his job. The owner coming back and with a lot of information to give you guests in charter coming on board with a lot of doubts, uncertainty, requests, okay? So the onboarding is always a very delicate time in a yacht. And good information will reduce the frictions during this time. Also, consider the complexity of information. Information must flow between so many entities and for so many purposes that are very different. Let's go through quickly the big picture of this information flow. First of all, you deal with your own colleagues, okay? And with 3-4 contexts that are very different. Context while you're on board or context while you're on leave and coming back. But also you've got a specific context during refit or shipyard periods where technical matters, where project management for the refit is very important. You have also another context that is the most important one, is owner's cruise or charter for those who are charter yachts, right? It's important also to handle the information back and forth between owners and guests and the crew. And again, this particular situation that you experience very often is the onboarding of new crew members or just onboarding anything aboard the yacht. Then you have also a big channel of exchange of information between owner and guest before or during the cruise, before to prepare the cruise and to get inquiries about the tastes, the desire, the requirements of the owner and or the charter clients. You've got also a huge challenge of information regarding security. You have to inform efficiently your guests of the security procedure on board. You have also to provide them with great entertainment, and you have to listen to their needs in terms of entertainment, digital content, but also the use of sea toys, the tourist resources, the touristical resources around them, and so on. And you have behind the scene, you have to schedule and manage a lot of resources for a cruise or a charter to be a great success. Also, you have to communicate all the time with the owner's staff ashore, or all the agents, or the agent ashore, but also the yacht management team or the charter operations. They are shore-based people that are dedicated to your support, or also providing you with directives, with management, and you have to communicate a great deal of information flow, and this information must be of great quality, again, to reduce the uncertainty. You have also to communicate with a lot of suppliers. You have to communicate with AV and IT support team to keep your telecommunication, your information, and your entertainment system alive and in good shape. So a lot of information, a lot of flows of information. How to deal this information flow? I propose to you to have a systemic approach, a global approach, and understand what exactly these information flows are requiring. So my proposal is considered as a dyad. So what is a dyad? Okay, for those who like Star Wars, you already understood. A dyad is something that works together, but with two different parts that have to work together, but very different parts, and they are complementary. What are the parts in an information system? You have on one side, you've got files and documents. There are small entities or big entities of information contained in a file or a document, PDF files, Excel sheets, Word documents, whatever. They are standalone files, and they are exchanged using email or using whatever exchange system you have. But we'll see how to improve that. And on the other side, you have got another figure, another visage of the information. You've got databases and hypertexts. Database, you know what it is. I mean, long list of, I don't know, spare parts on board, long list of equipment, long list of things to do. These are databases. And you've got hypertext. Hypertext are basically pages of text connected by links to other pages of text or documents. It's the web, or it's the wiki. You will see that later. On the side of the files and documents, what do you need? You need a system that will provide you with file transmission. Files can be very big, and you want a good way to transmit these files reliably between all the people that are destinated to the file. You have to manage your resources. You want up-to-date, fresh, great files, and you have to manage the files that everyone in a specific department needs to have. You want to broadcast or unicast a file, depending if it's a wide diffusion or only destinated to only one people. So resource management, files, resource management is important. You want also a way to securely store these files. You want also a very active backup of these files, because you cannot afford to lose files. And you know that a computer where your files are will one day fail. You know, computers are fail. So you need a system that will provide you with secured storage and backup. Secure storage means only the people you want can access the file you want. You want also a way to keep track of the versions, you know? How many people have already experienced this? The Excel file is not up to date, or the PDF is not up to date. We changed something, but it's not the last version. So you want a system that will be able to version, to give you the last version, but also will allow you to go back to precedented, to older version of your file, in case you want to come back to a specific file, or in case you've erased something in your very important files, you want to come back. And you want also to provide the very last fresh and up-to-date information. So you need some kind of versioning. And you need also to be able to add some metadata, some data about the data. You need to be able to add some annotations and some tracking on top of a file, some comments, some extra documents information. That's for the files and documents. Now, on the side of databases and hypertext, what do you need? You need a system that will provide you a way to keep notes, memos, reports, and find them easily. You need to build teams, wikis, or long data listing, like a spare part database, like the cocktail list or the wine list, whatever. You need also a way of this database or this hypertext system to provide you good task management, project management, which is a group of tasks to assume a particular mission or a particular objective. And also, like annotation and tracking on the files and document side, you want also to be able to track all this information. So let's pause a little bit about information system building, and let's talk for a few minutes about how to deal with security and other issues. It's so important. Our recommendation, first of all, please have a security state of mind. I mean by that, it must be one of your first preoccupations. On top of your mind, have a security state of mind. It's so important. And then be aware of the connectivity you have on board. Discuss with the ETO, discuss with your IT support management about all the tips and tricks they would like you to know about the connectivity on board. Always adapt your work to the connectivity that is available. And please talk with your AV IT providers or your telecommunication providers to improve and get great connectivity, great Wi-Fi, great internet connection, and so on. Be aware of this connectivity. Then think about password care and management. It's excessively important. You cannot imagine how many people use very low security passwords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Star Wars, Liberty, Freedom, their name of their dog. I mean, please use great care with your password management. And please, most important, have one password, different password, one password per one service. All your password must be different. And to manage this password, I would suggest something is that use, for example, if you don't have one, a password management system. I recommend this one, 1Password. It works on Windows, Mac, iOS, Android. It's a very reliable one. It's used by millions of people, but they are very secure, and it's a very, very powerful system. And it's adapted to personal password management and team or company password management. So 1Password. Also, if you can, it could be important to think about implemented mobile devices management system. What is MDM, mobile devices management? It's a software service, sometimes in the cloud, could be also implemented on board, that will manage all your mobile devices, your smartphone, your laptops, your tablets, and will provide a great management for the access to the Wi-Fi, access to the files, to information, to application, and will allow to onboard people very fast. Also, to have people removed from the management very fast and securely. Okay? So implementing mobile devices management. You cannot imagine how many yachts, even very big yachts, are not equipped with mobile devices management software. So really think about it. Talk with people like us or your IVIT or your telecommunication provider. Talk about mobile device management. And here my suggestion If your mobile device management on board are only iOS or Mac, Apple, you can use Jamf, highly recommended. But if they are mixed, Apple, Microsoft, Android, I would recommend to use Miradore. Very not so difficult to use systems. You can have your AV/IT or your telecommunication company implement this for you yourself, but it's important to consider mobile device management. Ask your ETO or a trusted IT support person for everything. Ask them, solicitate your ETO or your IT support to get information about, again, the connectivity, the security of the mobile, the password, the mobile device management, and talk to them, and they will be very happy to help you. And also, if possible, have an audit, and if needed, upgrade your audiovisual and information system on board to match the requirements of your new information system and to be risen to the level of high security, high efficiency. And then think about something. When you are on board, you are absolutely focused on security, but think about that also when you're ashore, right? Be as mindful, I know you are, be as mindful as you are on board when you're ashore. It's important, do not relax and just let loose security issues when you're ashore. All these are advices. I know you are very serious persons, but think about this, have a security state of mind. Okay, let's go back on track about the information system building. On the files and documents side, management and sharing. How to manage and how to share your files. First of all, this is very important. Have a designated curator among your team. Could be on board, could be ashore, 1 person, 2 person, yourself, but have a curator. It will be the person responsible with cleaning the files, making things always fresh and updated. Again, think about security. Security. When you exchange files, when you move files around, when you send files, think security and manage securely the storage of your files. And I will show you a little bit how to do that later. Okay, you understood that we are talking about service in the cloud or service that will help you manage your files. Okay, you can use the free accounts, usually with Google, for example, with Microsoft, with Dropbox, and whatever system you want to use. But I strongly recommend go for business account. I know it's a budget, but the return on investment is very fast and very good. Because when you use business account, you get for what you pay. You've got more security, more user management, more capacity, more reliability, more reactivity from the service provider. Whatever service provider you decided to choose, okay? But we are going to talk a little bit more about Dropbox in a few minutes. And if you go for business account, you have an amazing level of service from the free account. So consider this. It's important to pay for something because really, really, you will get what you pay for. Also, it's good practice, and quite every system is able to do that, to separate cleanly your personal files and your business files. You can do that if, for example, you pay for a business account in Dropbox, or you can separate your personal account and your business account. It means when, for any reason, you would leave the board, well, all your personal files are secured in your own personal vault. And all the business files will be managed by your ex-boss, or, okay, you see the situation. Also, remember, I've asked you to have a curator. It's important because it will help you clean up the old files or make the files follow charts, guidelines. Ask for those guidelines. Have a graphic guidelines for your documents. Have a writing guidelines for your documents. Have templates ready for your documents provided to you by your curator or your ETO or your information manager, whatever. But please clean up, because good information is clean information. And every minute you take to clean up your files is probably a problem avoid later. And 1 minute of cleanup will avoid very likely 10 minutes or even more problems later. So think about this. It's a good bargain, clean up. Did I insist you need a curator? Really, think about it. Thank you. Okay, I will take a few minutes now to show you tips and tricks that not a lot of people know about Dropbox. Okay, you have understood. We have chosen Dropbox as the files sharing and management tool. Okay, you can choose any other files management tools that work well, Microsoft, Google. But Dropbox, they have been there for years. They are a great company with great ethos and a great service. I know the company from the inside, and they have built their system on the best database and versioning and storage system in the world, really. They are in the Silicon Valley, and they've built their system in the late 90s with the best technology available, and they've managed to keep it modern, fresh, clean, and they have a great service. So Dropbox, many of you do understand Dropbox, I think. So let me go and share my screen now. Okay. What do we see here? Dropbox, since the end of the middle of last year, provided their clients with an application, a desktop application. You all know the way Dropbox is working. There is a folder, a directory in your computer that is always in sync with the server. Every file you put in it, every file you remove, it will be synced. It provides you also a way to copy the link of a file to send it to someone else. Okay, let's say, for example, I go to this folder. And you know that you can copy, sorry. Whoa. Very slow, sorry. You can send the link to your file to someone that can then download or add the file to their own Dropbox. Okay, so basically it's file transmission. But Dropbox is not only a way to store, sync, and back up your files and share your files. It's also a system where you can add annotation. on your file. And you can have, you can extend the life of your file by adding some goodies like signature system, comments, tracking the activity of a file, who read the file, who downloaded the file, who moved the file, who modified it. Okay, so Dropbox is not only this great repository, but it's also an added value system on top of your files. Okay, so when you consider using Dropbox, you're not only considering to use a simple file transmission system, you are really considering the half of the hemisphere, the half of the dyad I was talking to you about, the half of the system of your information system, right? The half part that is dedicated to documents and sharing, files and documents. Okay, so my recommendation, we have no time to go through a total demonstration right now of Dropbox, but I'm sure that you can go and try Dropbox for yourself and be aware that all this exists, not only the drag and drop files in your folder, but also comments, users, activity logs, services, transmission. Go and see by yourself the richness of the service you can get from Dropbox. Okay, so here you have the first half of your dyad. Okay, back to the slides.
Good. Are you okay, Guy? Need some assistance?
Yeah, I've got a very slow down on my computer today.
Okay.
Yeah, it's getting very hot in my home. I've got a problem.
Do you need to go to the presentation where you were left over?
Yeah.
That's it, right? I'll help you get it going. That's what I do.
Yeah, okay.
Let me also shout out, because there's a lot of information you share, ladies and gentlemen. So if there's anything you want some more questions about, some more information, feel free to just pop it to the chats, and I will make sure to get those questions answered. Back to you, Guy.
Thanks. Okay, let's go back to the slides. Okay, database and hypertext. How to get started. So the other hemisphere, right? First, think about all the databases and the wikis that would match your needs, right? Here we can help you understand what are your needs. Get the help from an experienced user to kickstart. Again, here I can help you if you want, so you contact us as soon as the webinar is finished. We are open to answering any questions. Again, and you know that I insist about that, have a designated curator, someone in your team that will be the responsible of the database and the wikis. From now on, we are going to talk about hypertext as wikis. Okay? When you want to build a wiki, you can, and through the tool I'm going to show you, you can use templates for your own wiki, for your project wiki. You will see that, and then you personalize from the template. Okay, and then invest a little bit of time to be familiar with your new toolbox, because building a wiki means that you have to understand the basic elements that builds the wiki: nested pages, pages within pages, databases, and different views on database. A database, you can view it as a list, as a calendar, as files, blocks, links, Kanban, which is the column view, and you manage your information column by column, means day by day, or objectives by objectives. Markdown, comments, embedding files into your wiki, workspace, user management, all that. Okay, you have to get familiar with that. Okay, maybe at this time you are getting tired of listening to me, and you are saying, why would you need a wiki? Huh? Okay, so let's say it's a wiki, and why would you need it? What is a wiki? A wiki is a hypertext publication, collaboratively edited and managed by its own audience or group members for maintaining its internal knowledge base and plans. Okay, so basically, it's an interactive system. It's a website that you and your team collaboratively edit the information. Okay, so that's what is a wiki. And why would you need it? Because it's flexible, it's easy to customize, it's also easy to learn and use. Throughout your life, you have probably already used wikis, Wikipedia, wikis everywhere. It's a very easy way to navigate into the information. And it's not expensive. It's far less expensive than bringing on board a huge database yacht management system that costs tens of thousands of euros. And then you have to comply to their system. Here, it's not expensive. The system I will show you is free for the beginning and then very cheap to use. Okay, the counterpart is that you have to invest time to create a wiki that fits your needs. And another friend of mine is telling you the truth. Underestimate the power of a wiki, thou shalt not. A wiki is very powerful because it's an easy way to share, update, collaborate information. It's not rigid. You adapt it to your needs all the time. Okay, build your very own wikis, your database, memo, notes, project, task manager, and we have chosen a tool that's called Notion. Notion is pretty recent. In the past, they used to have Evernote. You've got also Notes by Microsoft. You've got all the Google Docs. You've got plenty of solutions out there, Asana, whatever, Trello. Okay, they are all very, very good systems. Why did we choose to show you Notion? Well, you're going to see. Notion is simple to start with and will grow with you, but you can build small system. You can also build huge information system on top of Notion. And Notion is a kind of one-stop shopping system. So let me show you and try to share. Okay, try to share the screen. Here we are. So this is what you see when you start your own workspace at the beginning. Okay? On the sidebar, on the left, it's a web system, but there's also a native application for Microsoft, for Mac, iOS, and Android. So it means that everything you are going to build in the web or on your laptop application, you will be able to see it, update it, and share it on your smartphone and on your tablet with your colleague that is on Microsoft, with your colleague that is on Apple. All right? Basically, it's web pages and pages within pages. Okay? On the sidebar here, you see all the pages that you have. For the beginning, I just choose to create a wiki. Okay? You go in the templates. And you can choose here from so many templates. Let's say that you want to create a task management or a small task list system. You choose it. And then you say, use template. And you have dozens and dozens of templates to choose from. Also, what's interesting, if you decide to work with a service company like Akumendo, we can provide you, or the service company can provide you with a template already made that absolutely match your needs. So here is basically the task list management. Okay. You have two big chapters, workspace on top, private beneath. Private means that all the pages you put in this section will be yours and only yours. You can put your own wiki, you can put your own and personal task management. You can put everything personal here. No one from the outside will see it. And then you've got the workspace. And this is the space where you can share the pages. And the administrator of your system will choose what you can see, what you cannot, what you can update, what you cannot. There is a very fine user management. All right. So, and let's say we want to add a page in the workspace. Just add a page. And within each page, let's say that I will call this my home page, for example. You can add icons. You can choose from whatever image you want. You can add a cover. And you know this is important because this will give personality to your pages. And this will ease the way you remember the pages and your access to the pages. This will participate to conveying the image of your team, of your yacht, of your boss, and whatever. And within a page, you can put whatever you want, text, images, web page bookmarks, and you can create database. Let's say I create a small database here, and you can add any kind of properties you want in your database. Let's say you want to add a date or whatever, text you want or tags. It's easy to do. Okay. Let's see an example of my wiki here in the template. Again, pages within pages. Okay, this is my wiki here on the left. And the template gave me all this. And you see here a list of pages that are nested within pages. So a simple structure to understand. And pages could be text or database, whatever. Okay, let's cut short. Please go to Notion, create your own free account, and begin to create from templates to understand the richness of the system. But now I just want to show you an example of what you can do. I've created this for you. It's the Aku Yacht workspace, right? Let's go to this. Okay, so I've put together a page that is called the Yacht dashboard. You can put what you want, but the idea here is to have in this page, for example, here at the top, a chat where you can exchange comments, messages between your team members. Here, what you see is a block. You see my cursor here, my hand? It's a block. And this block is called, this type of block is called a call out. I can add any fresh news there to be seen by everyone. I can add reminders that will ring on your smartphone or your tablet, etc. I can extract a view of any database in the system to provide a specific view on database. For example, here, the view called calendar of the crew planner that is located somewhere else. I will show you where. in the wikis. I can add whatever I want of a database. So you build the dashboard that will match your needs, what information is important for you and for your team. And here, look at that. On the sidebar, I've created some wikis. So again, here what you are going to see is a list of wikis that I think could be interesting. But you can create as many or as few wikis you want. Here, the idea is to have a wiki for the captain's information, a wiki related to all engineering informations, a wiki for the purser and all the stewards, stewardess on board, a wiki for the chef and to manage his galley. In the captain's wiki, you can create as many pages as you want, a database as you want. Let's say, for example, in the captain's wiki here, and again, you can create pages with beautiful illustration, icons, covers. Sorry, it's a bit slow, but you can add, for example, a cruise planner database. You can add a crew planner. Let's see this, for example. Again, it's you. You decide which kind of information, which kind of pages, database, notes, memo you want to put in the system. Here, for example, the crew planner, you see it by status. It's a Kanban view. Each column depends on a status for the information, what's next up, what's in progress. But all information can be viewed by different systems. For example, you can see what task by assigning. So here, the view that you're going to see is a view according to the people that are assigned a task. Okay? Sorry, it's very slow. I need to speed up. You can create meeting notes, captain's documentation. For the captain, for example, everything that deals with the Maritime Labor Convention and the SOLAS, all the regulation documentations. And then in this system, you can embed any kind of documents. So it makes easy to annotate, find, exchange documents, and access directly to the documents that match really the topic you are working on. Engineers wikis, for example. What could we put in engineers wiki? Okay, Jean-Pierre?
Yes, tell me.
I think I'm going to be too short for the digital signage part. I'm going to go short for this part now and give you speech ASAP for the signage part. The thing I wanted to say, you guys, is look at the great flexibility of such a system. Before leaving this, I just want to show you, for example, one of the power of the system is that all the database can be interconnected. Let's say, for example, you have this planner database, okay, where you are going to plan all your maintenance tasks and stuff, okay. Let's say I've got a bilge pump replacement to do. Okay, so I create a new task. Bilge pump. I think this is next up to do. I think this is of very high priority. I mean, okay, so I can create all this data. You can create your own data here. And I can be linked with the spare part list and say, do I have in stock? Oh, okay, I have in stock the bilge pump. Okay, I add it. And I have also the bilge pump belt. I add it. Okay, done. Okay, so you see that now you've got a task. You can assign a person, define a date, a list of spare parts that you are going to use. Okay, and the beauty of that is that each item in the database is in fact a page where you can add documents, you can add other database, photographs, comments, chats with your colleagues. Okay? So this is the beauty of Notion. So I invite you to create your account and test the templates. Get in contact with us if you want to be helped to create a more job specific and to be assisted. Okay? And now the last chapter of this presentation. Okay, say how to improve. You've now a good information system that works on a dyad where you've got files and document management on one side, database and wiki on the other side. The problem is information must not be confined to laptop or desktop computer. You have to have the best way to share this information with your guest and with your crew member. And our suggestion is to make use of all display you can. Okay, your display could be watch, smartphone, tablets, desktop, and also digital signage display. Your big display in the crew mess or in the bridge, you can create very dynamic signage display there using all the information that we show you lately. Okay. For me, it's quite almost finished. I would like to hand over the speech to Jean-Pierre because I would like him to show you what a dynamic signage display is and how you update this kind of signage. The signage system that we are going to show you is a product of Akumendo. But again, all what we have been showing you today is how to build the best and the most versatile information system out there. It's definitely our commitment. It's our passion. Okay, Jean-Pierre.
Yes, I hope that everybody can see my screen now. This is an example of a screen. Of course, you have to imagine on a screen, vertical, and what Guy was talking about can be automatically inserted in such tickets. Let's call it tickets for events or for news on board of the pin board. The pin board can be for the crew to share messages, and the captain and the chief steward, the chief engineer can receive and send message. You can have also the steward call. If you have a steward call system on board, you can get your crew list, some cameras from all the boat, of course, some information coming from the web, like the weather, and some internal information like the NMEA data that gives you some indication regarding, let's say, for example, the water temperature that is today, let's say 22, and you can give the information to the guest. So all the topics you get before can be integrated in such a system. And such a system can be, of course, managed through a system that is very easy, a back office, in fact, that is very easy. You can create news, you can create pin board and everything like this. So it's a very easy tool to create, for instance, the crew member for your crew list, to check the steward call receive, or to create type of steward call that you want to manage. So that's a way to manage your information on board for the guest and for the crew. So yeah, that's the topic we wanted to show you quickly, because now we get late. We have to get and to finish within 1 hour. So I think, oh no, we were in time.
This is exactly 1 hour. You and well done.
Speed up a little bit, but
yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody watching, Guy in the beginning of the session said before we got live, he said, "I'm going to keep it to 40 minutes this time," and but he's so into the topic and so into the zone, and he knows so much about it that like we always get carried away a little bit. But we do that because we think it's interesting. We think and we think it adds value to anything that we do together. It's lunch and learn. So I think I saw a few people that had to go back, obviously, to work, but they will all watch it back because we are recording this webinar. So we're going to share it later for everybody to rewatch, or for the people that couldn't make it in the end or who want to see it in their own time. And so far, it always has been pretty successful. If there are any questions, please pop them into the chat now. Hopefully we'll get a few. If not, we're going to end this webinar, and thank you all for the time. I think what I took out of it is that there's a lot of existing tools there that you can use to communicate better. And that all those tools, basically, in the end, communication is key. And I like what you said, Guy. It's for on board, it's for your guests, but it's also for your own mental wellness, and it's good. Probably it's good for retention, for crew motivation, all of those things. And then at the end, Jean-Pierre, you showed like how part of that information and communication can be integrated into one dashboard, so that it's available for everybody without the direct need to log in to all the different toolkits. I think that's what I took out of this today. Is that the correct summary?
Yeah. We're not committed. Sorry, Guy.
I would like to encourage the people to use the wiki, and you will see if you go to Notion, you can create from the template My Wiki, your own wiki, and you will see there's a lot of chapters there for your own growth, your own well-being, to track your personal information, to give you also a good tracking of your health, of your goals. Check that out. It's very, very interesting. And you will see the richness of the wiki adapted to your personal being, but also to your work.
Yes, especially because when you are not convinced about the software, because there is a lot of software that are proposed by some makers. Of course, they are very good, but sometimes you don't feel that is really matching with your expectation. And these kind of tools are the possibility to create your own, from a very simple one to a very sophisticated, and not goes into the problem that this owner having, is that a prototype or not? Because it comes from a well-known system supported and used by many users in the world, not only in the yachting, but you can make your template. So that's very important.
Mm-hmm. So it's a proven concept. It's and I think that's like, it's proven, it's used. And I think with those very well-spoken words, Jean-Pierre, we're going to put an end to this today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for another very interesting presentation. Thank you, everybody watching. I'm going to do the countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to press the red button. And that means we're out. So everybody, thank you so much. Have a lovely Monday. Thank you so much. And we're out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.
Bye.